Oh, nice play. Ooh, good play. If you keep on putting in the and I get sacked. All right, hold on. I gotta sit up in my chair. Ooh, try to get me with the slot blitz right there. It's so nice. I didn't even see him.
That was not me. That was the computer.
They were actually like honoring like Bob Huggins and like some other West Virginia legends like Tavon Austin and stuff like that. Who is the GOAT of college football, by the way. And like they're honoring those guys, and then there's just like me. So it's like I don't know if I belong with you guys. Try to fit it in there. Oh, there.
Wow, that was a phenomenal throw. Oh my God.
Looking like real life right there, Jalen.
Hole shot, baby. Do I get a pity field goal? Can I get one?
Field goal? No, you got to go for it all. Got to give Diggs a chance. Oh, all
right, we'll give Diggs a chance.
No, get back there. No.
Oh, he did it. Oh my God, he actually did it. What is a day in the life of Noah Johnson? Noah up next, like at West Virginia.
Yeah, so I wake up around like 11 or 12 because I scheduled all my classes late because gamer hours. Probably go to sleep around 3 or 4 in the morning, but maybe around 11 or 12, go to my morning classes, usually 1 to 2 classes. Finish that up around like 2:33. Get some lunch, and then just kind of lock in on the game for like a couple hours, like from 3 to 4ish until around like, depending on like if there's a tournament or anything like that, play a few hours, and then just kind of like go out and like some socializing and all that type of stuff at night, and then kind of do the same thing again next day. Do some homework as well in there as well, of course.
What's the do they have because what's your major? First off, what's your major?
I'm an econ major.
Okay. So you're preparing for all facets of life, not just the gaming sphere, right? You're like, I'm gonna take this and turn it into something even greater.
Yeah, for sure. I love I love like how money works, like learning how money works, and then just like learning about like the U.S. economy as well as like the world economy, and stuff like that. I don't know. I've always loved it, like even as a kid.
Yeah. Okay.
It's funny how, cause like my gamer tag when I was like a kid wasn't No Up Next, but like it's kind of like rebranding, obviously, from like a kiddie gamer tag to like a more like official.
I gotta know. What was it? What was the gamer tag?
Well, I didn't have anything like crazy. Like it was it was Noah's Boys 1, which just, I don't know why my dad, like that was because I would just play on my dad's account, and because like he was big into video games, and so like I would just play on his account. But I don't know why he chose that as his, but that's what I always played on. And then I transitioned to Noah the Goon for a little bit because I liked playing like Call of Duty and Fortnite. Yeah. So I was like, I'm a goon, getting some kills and all that.
Yeah.
But then my buddy, he changed his name was Nate. And his was like Nate Dog or something like that. And then he changed it to Nate Up Next one day. He was like, I don't know. I saw it on like on social media, and I was like, man, that's pretty cool. Like I might take it. So I changed mine to No Up Next because we used to play Pro-Am together, like 2K Pro-Am.
Oh yeah.
We all just changed our name to Up Next, like as like a little like crew or anything like that. And then it kind of just stuck. So.
Dude, that's awesome. I love that story. That's so cool. All right. So at what point do you still play Call of Duty and stuff?
Yeah, I play a little bit, but not any thing crazy.
No, not like in the competitive realm. Like,
yeah,
yeah, I get you. Okay. What was your dad? How was he into games? I'm gonna send you an invite right now as well.
Yep. He would just play casually. He just liked playing online. He's just like a competitive person, and we would just watch. We'd watch like the NFL games on Sunday or like some college games on Saturday, and then you just be like, all right, let's go play like online, like use the Eagles. Like I'm an Eagles fan. He's kind of like he's just an Aaron Rodgers fan. He doesn't really have a favorite team, but he's an Aaron Rodgers fan. So he'd be like, let's use the Packers or let's use the Eagles and go play online. And I just watch him play. He'd let me play sometimes. I'd usually get killed. But when I got older, I started just being like, I started getting a lot better. And he would like calm me down in the middle of the night because like he would play at like 2, 3 in the morning because like everyone else is asleep in the house. Like he's playing. He'd come down. He's like, I'm losing to this guy. Like, you got to come help me beat him. And so he'd wake me up in the middle of the night. Like, I'm like in 5th, 6th grade. Like, Dad, I got school at like 7 in the morning. I got to wake up. He's like, man, we got to beat this guy online. And so he will come wake me up. I'd beat him. And then he's like, all right, don't tell your mom.
Right, of course. Yeah, let's keep that between us. That's cool. So you guys were obviously close, growing up then, yeah?
Yeah, for sure.
What got him into gaming, or is that just something he's always been into as well?
Yeah, I don't really know like what got him into gaming. He just introduced it to me like with the PlayStation 2 was the first like console that I remember playing. And then my parents bought me a PlayStation 3, like was my first console that like I owned myself, I guess.
Did you play the first Madden on PS3, the one that was like you could see the beads of sweat on them and everything like that?
My first Madden was Madden 13, so or Madden 13 was Madden 25, I think. It was the one with Troy Polamalu and Larry Fitz on the cover.
No, that's 10.
That's 10? Oh,
That's
okay.
10.
I might be old then. Hold on.
Old? Come on. You're talking to a 30-year-old here, man. You know how far I go back? Madden 98.
Oh, okay.
98 on PlayStation 1 when the graphics were like the 8-bit, like or whatever it is. Can't even remember what it's called. Where they were like flat. And then that's like NFL Game Day 99 was the move where it was like, oh my God, these guys are 3D. And then obviously progress all the way to here. I've been here for the whole run. I'm going to go with, so I've been running, when I run head to head online, I run with the Bills just because I don't like the state of the Browns' current roster. Their defensive line is garbage. So feel free to be whoever you want.
I'll rock with my Eagles.
All right, there we go. This might be a Super Bowl preview right here.
Yep.
This will be fun. So you guys, I was watching some of your Ultimate Kickoff stuff, and I saw that the popular playbook for a lot of people, and I was watching that video you put up last night, or not last night, but I was watching it last night, where it was like the Washington Commanders playbook of all playbooks has like some of the best plays to roll with in this game this year, which blew my mind. Why is that?
Yeah, so the reason that Washington's so good is they have the best gun bunch, and gun bunch has been the meta, so to speak, for like the last 5-6 years. Like I've been playing competitive since Madden 20, but even before that, bunch was always the meta, and so it has just the best blocking. The reason that bunch is so good, it has the best blocking, has the best routes, and then like that Washington bunch in particular has this play called clear out that's only in bunch. And it's basically just like a beater. It beats all types of coverages, cover 2, cover 3, cover 4, man-to-man, match, anything like that. It beats it all. And so that's why it's just so good.
Okay, that makes a ton of sense. I like that. I saw that video that you were the free touchdown play where you were hot routing the outside slot on that corner route. And I saw basically you're attacking a deep third with two deep thirds with 3 guys and just waiting for one to come open essentially.
Yeah, that's just a numbers game basically. But yeah, like you said, it's funny how Washington of all the teams, right? It's not like it's the Bills or the Chiefs, a team that has a high-powered offense, but it's Washington.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I mean, that tends to be what happens. I mean, there's been times in years past where the most illogical defenses end up being phenomenal just because of the way they get their run fits and everything else. All right, so bear with me. I am not at your level. All right. And I'm also going to keep this whole interview just going. So I hope you're not too dialed in here.
No, for sure.
All right. So where are you from? You from, I thought I saw Maryland.
Yep. I'm from Ellicott City, Maryland, which is like right outside of Baltimore, about like 10 minutes from Baltimore.
Okay. And then so you grew up there and then you didn't leave until you went to college, yeah?
Yeah, I've been there my whole life. It's fun. A lot of people give Maryland slander for no reason, but it's you got right next to Baltimore and then you got DC, so it's really cool.
What's the old saying? Crab cakes in football. That's what Maryland does.
Yeah. I'm not a Ravens fan though, so that is where I get some slander because like all my friends from home and then like all my neighbors and stuff like that, everyone's a Ravens fan, but I am not a Ravens fan. So I root for their downfall. Just to kind of laugh at my friends.
That's funny. That is so funny. Okay, so how did you become an Eagles fan?
Yeah, so my parents were from the Midwest, and so they didn't have a team because, like, my dad's from North Dakota, my mom's from Nebraska, so, like, there's no pro teams there. And so, like, they didn't really have a big team or anything like that. They didn't have an allegiance. And so when I grew up, like, my neighbors were huge Eagles fans or, like, huge Philly fans for everything. So when I was like growing up, they just like gave me all their gear and stuff, and like we would just watch the games together, and then I just kind of evolved into a Philly fan for everything.
So that would have been like, let's see, you're 20, right? So
yeah,
you would have been like end of Donovan McNabb era, start of
Yep.
Michael Vick era, right?
Yep. McNabb, Kevin
Shady.
Kolb,
Kevin Cobb. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Cobb. Yeah, my bad. But yeah, Kevin Cobb, and then Michael Vick. My favorite memory is obviously the miracle at the Meadowlands. Like as like a kid, obviously like winning the Super Bowl was the best, but like the miracle at the Meadowlands was just awesome. I was a huge Deshaun Jackson fan.
I was gonna say Macklin, Shady McCoy,
Yep.
Deshaun Jackson. Oh yeah. How much of like a Eagles history buff are you? Are you like have you been able to go back and see like Brian Westbrook, Donovan McNabb, maybe the TO year, for example?
Yeah, so Brian Westbrook, actually, me and him went to the same high school.
No way.
Like the same high school as him. But yeah, Brian Westbrook's a dog. I actually have a signed football from Brian Westbrook. Yeah, he was a dog. Eagles got a lot of cool legends.
Oh yeah,
it's crazy because Harold Carmichael is like one of the best players in Madden because he's so tall in Ultimate Team.
Yeah.
But like going back and watching like his history too, like playing for the Eagles was pretty dope.
Oh yeah, finally got in the hall too. Took a long time, but he finally got in. So how big's your family? You talked about the relationship with your dad. You got any siblings?
Yeah, so I have 2 sisters. So a family of 5, me, my mom, my dad, and then 2 sisters.
Oh, okay. Oh, nice pick. That was nice. Thought I was gonna get away with that one. Okay. And where in that group of siblings are you?
Yeah, I'm a middle child. So my sister is actually in law school right now, and then my little sister. So my older sister's in law school, and then my little sister's in 7th grade. So.
Okay. And when you were growing up, obviously, you got into video games with your dad and everything, but what other interests did you have growing up?
So I've played baseball my whole life. That's what I like wanted to do. Like I wanted to be a professional baseball player, wanted to play collegiate baseball. So like that's kind of how I got my competitive edge, because like I would obviously be playing sports and then like come home and start playing video games and be like super competitive just because I'm a competitive person.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I got my competitive edge.
Okay. So any other sports other than baseball or just baseball?
I played baseball like I guess I got a competitive level. Like I like basketball, but I'm 5'10", not very fast. So I knew my place. Like all right, like I'm gonna play baseball.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this basketball thing at a high level.
So. Right. Definitely. Okay. So when did you know that? Because like if you think about this, like I was kind of in your shoes when I was a kid. I played baseball and football growing up. Football was kind of my main sport, but we played video games a ton. There was the opportunity that you have did not exist when I was your age. Like the idea of going on an esports scholarship, of all these different things, did not exist. So if it was 10 years ago, what would you be doing right now in college? Probably being an econ major and still playing video games, but not professionally, right? Like not competitively.
Yeah, I have no idea. I mean, like the biggest blessing for me, which was like crazy to think about because like it like was obviously like just like a terrible thing, was like COVID happening, because it allowed me to just play video games at like just play a lot more video games, because like I didn't have school. Like baseball was done. Like it was just like everyone was at home. Like I was just playing video games the whole time. So COVID was huge. It allowed me to like kind of pursue my passion of gaming. But yeah, if I wasn't playing video games right now, honestly, I have no idea what I would be doing. I probably would just be like an econ major, just doing the normal college life.
Yeah, of course. I also knew you were going up the seam there. I just didn't have a fast enough linebacker to get there. When you first started playing Madden, did you start with franchise, or were you an online guy early on, or what?
Yeah, so I was a big online guy because I would just challenge my buddies. Like we would just play. So we just play head to head. Use my favorite team. I've never been like a franchise guy. Like I love the idea of franchise, but it's like so hard to find like 32 people where it's just like, all right, like we're gonna do this and like all the scheduling and stuff like that. But like franchise, like the idea of running a franchise with your buddies would just be sick.
Well, I'll tell you this. I know you're pretty bogged down now, but I do run a league, so we got like 20 people in it. So yeah. It's not quite full, but it is pretty active, and the way we do that is just run it on Discord. So I don't know if they would want you in the league because you're too good, but
that's the problem. I can't play with any of my friends anymore because they're just like, dude, it's no fun. Like we just lose by a lot. Like yeah. And if you don't try, then it's no fun for you too. So it's like you can't find a balance.
Yeah, of course. And it's like, I won my way out of my friendly rivalry here. But it is what it is. When did you like? This is gonna sound dumb, but when did you become good? Like really good?
Yeah, no, because so I would be playing against my buddies and I would just kind of be beating them, but it's like I don't know, like we're all just like average, like we're just like play for fun, like we're not anything like competitive or anything like that. But I would play on like the leaderboards in the game. I started doing pretty well in that, and then I would start playing people online for like money, like just some like wagers and stuff like that. And I would actually be getting popped, like I would be losing, and I would be like, all right, like now I got to go mow some lawns or like get a couple bucks here so I can start playing these dudes again because like I want to get better than them. I want to start beating them. And then I started beating them online in like these tournaments and like these money games. And I was like, okay, like if I can start beating these guys, like I've seen these guys play on the stage and like the big tournaments, the live events. So like I might as well go try doing that. And so when I turned 16, I was able to like play in the tournaments because like there's an age cutoff for 16-year-olds. Like you had to be 16. And so yeah, I just signed up and I started doing pretty well on the leaderboards, and it kind of went from there.
So what's that process like? Like, you start doing well on the leaderboards, but like there's tens, hundreds of thousands of people that play Madden. I mean, you're just one of them, even though you're playing these like tournaments that might be local tournaments or whatever else. But like, how do you elevate yourself to that next level?
Yeah, that's like what's so awesome about Madden, like talking to any other like professional gamers and stuff like that. Like Madden is just like it's totally skill based in the sense that like, oh, nice play, but it's totally skill based in the sense that like if you do well on the leaderboards, like you're gonna get a chance at playing in the tournaments. Like because everyone, like if you can qualify for the tournaments, you're playing in the same tournament that I'm playing in, and like you get the chance at playing against me. And if you beat me, then like you're gonna get your name out and stuff like that. So it was just playing in the leaderboards and doing well in that, and kind of going from there.
Just really gaining that exposure just by succeeding and working.
Yeah, it's like totally skill based and not like any politics in the sense that like you see. Ooh, good play, but any politics that you see in like any other game where it's like like you kind of piss off the wrong person or something.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So
well, okay, first off, I'm gonna tell you I'm running a completely custom playbook, so it's not fair, but because you're running stock and I'm not, but all 500 plays filled up in this playbook, but so I mean, like that climb itself is pretty remarkable. I guess the question that I think all Madden gamers who want to get to this level and want to get to where you are now and where you've been honestly for a while, based on what I found on YouTube. I mean, I see you're still looking pretty young now at 20 years old, but I saw you, at a much younger, fresher face, playing in the championship 3-4 years ago. What's the best way to get better?
For me, it was just play people that are a lot better than you. Because you're not going to get better playing against your buddies. Like I wasn't getting better when I started just beating my buddies by like 50. Like you're not going to get better doing that. So I would challenge myself. I would message like the top guys, and some of them wouldn't respond, but some of them would be like, yeah, like we can play. And I would just message them and be like, hey, like you want to play and stuff like that, or just play the leaderboards, play like the MUT head-to-head, online head-to-head, and just play people who are better than you. And you're going to lose at the beginning. Like obviously they're better than you, but if you keep on putting in the and I get sacked. All right, hold on, I gotta sit up in my chair. But
a lot of ball game left, my friend.
Yeah, but you just play people who are better than you, and you're at some point you're gonna hit like a crossroad where it's like you can keep on putting in the time and keep on getting better, or you're just gonna give up. And if you keep on putting in the time and getting better, you're gonna have to get better.
What do you think separates the people who give up and people who keep putting in the time? Is it availability of time, or is it desire to get better, or is it something in between?
Yeah, it's definitely pretty tough because, father time gets us all, or I guess mother time, whatever time, like it gets us all. So like everyone's a ticking time bomb, especially for esports. You got to be pretty young. Like I feel like I'm already at like the veteran age at a ripe 20 years old. So, and then like obviously like having a job and stuff like that. So yeah, I think time is like the biggest thing because you're not just going to be good like first year you play. Like it definitely takes a couple years. So I think that's like the biggest thing.
Yeah, for sure. So I guess you're right. Age is on your side there a little bit. That makes sense. I'm gonna not ask this question here as we focus on this fourth down.
Big fourth down.
And he's wide.
Run him over.
Let's go. He is. There he is. I was not in the right defense. That is perfect. How do you figure out the hot route combinations that are going to work? Is it just reps?
Yeah. It's a ton of reps. You steal a couple things from like the NFL. You can actually like steal some things from the NFL, the college level. But obviously it's a video game as well, so like not everything applies. And then watching a lot of the competitive players play as well, you can see what they're doing and kind of pick up on like their defensive tendencies, and you kind of scheme around that for offense. And the same thing applies for defense.
Yeah, like I was watching your breakdown of the Ultimate Kickoff final, and you were talking about how it's actually kind of like this play there. Is you where you were facing Henry, who was this early in his first drive. He came out in gun bunch, and he had that tight end wide open up the seam, and you just kind of continued to talk about how you made adjustments and what you knew from playing him before. So I guess I'll ask you this: you talked about in that video about playing each other. I think would you say in regs or something like that beforehand?
Yeah.
So how does that work?
So we would just play.
Like is that like a matchmaking thing, or is it like you are setting that up to play against each other?
A little bit of both. Like sometimes we'll just randomly match up on like online head-to-head, like we'll match up with like pro players and stuff like that, which is awesome because you don't really see that in any type of esport or definitely not in like sports. You're not just going out to your local park and matching up with LeBron in one-on-one or anything like that.
Right.
So it's definitely super dope that you can just match up with the best players and just online head-to-head. But then also like I'll hit them up and we'll like play because like it benefits both people, to get those reps in.
Yeah, of course. As you flood my cover 3 with 4 verts. Yeah, those reps show through right there. Yeah, I definitely get what you're saying there. Do you have a relationship with some of the guys that you play against, at the top level?
Yeah, so my first tournament, like I kind of went like solo. Like I didn't really know too many people or anything like that. But now I have like a crew of guys that I like to talk to. We like to lab and prepare together. And that's I feel like it's really good because having more people like is definitely really helpful because more minds on the game, more ideas and stuff definitely is really big.
What about the competitive nature of it though? Like,
well, that's what stinks about Madden, right? Because at the end of the day, like only one person can win. So it definitely gets a little awkward in the sense that like you got to play one of your buddies. But I think everyone just understands that that's just part of the game.
Does it get a little stranger considering the fact that money's on the line and we're not talking, $5?
Yeah, I think like right at the beginning, like my first tournament and stuff like that. But I don't know. I guess it's just kind of part of the game. I kind of just got used to it. And I think anyone who's kind of been playing for a couple years now, kind of just it's part of the process, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. Looking at some of my list of questions that I've had written up. When you were coming up, and you said you wanted to play against some of those better players, and you were messaging guys, trying to get those reps in. Who were the guys that you were aiming for? Who were the guys you were going after?
I really like to emulate my guys.
Nice pick. I thought I was going to squeeze that one in there. You knew it was coming. I thought I was going to be able to squeeze it in there. Go ahead.
But yeah, I like to emulate my game around like the 2 biggest guys I really like to emulate my game was Problem Right, who people say is like the GOAT of Madden, of all time, and then this guy named Serious Mo. And so I like to emulate around my game like that because they were huge defensive players. They were known for their defense, and then they would just play clock management on offense and kind of just play really slow. And I've always noticed like I'm not the best passer. I'm not like my reads aren't as sharp as other guys that like can sling the rock every single play. And so like I like to just kind of play clock management, play slow, control the game that way, and just limit my mistakes and allow my opponent to make the mistakes. And so they played exactly like that. So that's why I tried to emulate my game around.
He says he's not the best passer as he throws a wide open touchdown pass and cover 2. Yeah. These are the levels here, folks. These are the levels of difference and skill. So what about your strategy? Like we're playing this game, just for fun, but like when you get into a competitive game, because like I came into this just having watched your games thinking, all right, he's going to go gun and run that counter a lot. And I'm giving away my strategy by admitting this, but it's like, you haven't done that at all. So like, you're just going back to basically what I'm saying is against the best, you probably have to really adjust accordingly, right? As opposed to just playing somebody like me.
Oh, for sure. I go in with a huge game plan, just like the NFL, right? I watch a ton of film. That's what I love about like the new era of video games. Everything's on Twitch, everything's on YouTube. So I can find my opponent's film, see what they are doing. And then I'll just build a game plan based on what their weaknesses are, and their strengths and kind of neutralizing that. And so I'll always go into game plan. And just like for that tournament, like I watched everyone play. I knew they were going to be like, all right, like he's going to be in dollar, and these are the runs that absolute kill dollar, like that counter. And so I would run it a lot, and I feel like I value preparing. I think that's the biggest thing, and I think that's how I can beat a lot of people. Is just like out preparing them.
Isn't that kind of the difference between, because like the average person, and I wouldn't necessarily put boomers in the spot, but like that generation probably thinks like they're just playing a game, but there's actual like value and importance on preparing for these games, like an NFL game, much more than I think people realize, right?
Oh, for sure. There's so much that goes into it that a lot of people just don't even see. Um, yeah, I put in so many hours where it's just I'm not even playing the game. I'm just watching another person play the game because I think the biggest thing I pick up on is tendencies. Because everyone has tendencies, just like in everything in life, but especially in video games. Like you have your one play that you're gonna call on the biggest play of the game, and so if I know what that play is, like I'm gonna have the upper hand on you. So
Yeah,
that's why I put in all those hours, like just kind of picking up on what your favorite plays are and stuff like that. And the way I counter that is I like to play super freestyle. So I don't even know what I'm going to call. So if I don't know what I'm going to call, how are you going to know what I'm going to call? So
right,
that's kind
of
of how I
course.
like to counter that.
By the way, I'm going for this because there's no chance I'm stopping you off on defense. So they're going for it, and here's Allen. And I get hit again. All right, tell me this real quick because I keep seeing this. You're coming out here in a defensive look that doesn't even include, if I got trips left, you got two guys over there, and one of them's not even aligned over him. So what am I seeing there before the play as opposed to what ends up happening after the snap?
Yeah, so I'm in a base align, and the reason I base align is so you don't know that everything looks the same, so you can't pick up on the tells, right? Because like if you have one high safety, you know, okay, he's in cover 3.
Right.
Two high safety, you're in cover 2, cover 4, or something like that. So you're able to pick up on the defense. But if I'm in baseline, everything looks the exact same. So that's the reason. That's the reason that a lot of professional players do that, is so you can't pick up what the defense is until after you call hike. So it just makes it a little bit tougher to move the ball.
Okay. So like, I just went baseline there, and all I did was shift the corners out. But I get what you're saying. I get the logic behind that for sure. Okay, let's shift away from the strategy here for a second, because this is a question that kind of popped up to me, and I think is probably a lot of gamers have confronted. When you told your parents that you wanted to pursue this seriously for the first time, how did they react?
Yeah, so I qualified for a tournament, and so for the tournaments, try to get me with the slot blitz right there. Or
well, no, the problem was I was using the safety, and then I switched off him at the wrong side. I was actually going to run all the way back to that deep third and cover, but then Edmonds ended up. See, three.
Yeah,
see, three.
I
three is me
like,
biting the run fake. I'm biting the run fake and just giving it away. But anyways, yeah. So how continue with what you were saying?
Yeah, so I made a tournament, and so like if you make a live event, like EA will fly you out and pay for your hotel and all that type of stuff. And so like I was telling my parents about it, and they thought it was a scam. They were like, "Man, no company's doing that." And I'm like EA is like they're a big company. Like they're not like a fake company. Like EA is like one of the biggest gaming companies in the world. Like it's not a scam. Like I promise you. And so like me and my dad went because like I wasn't 18, so like you go with the guardian. And so me and my dad went. Like it obviously wasn't a scam. And they saw like, okay, like you can make some money playing these games. Like, all right, like that's pretty cool. Like, yeah, you can keep on pursuing it. But they were always super supportive. They definitely understood it more when I started like making some money, because it's like, okay, like you could do this as like a job and stuff like that. But at the beginning, they were definitely a little suspicious, kind of like probably every parent.
How do they actually realize that you can do this as a job? Winning a tournament and winning some money?
Yeah, that was it basically. Because I would tell them, I was like, man, like I could win some money doing this, and they're like, nah, like you're lying. You can't do that playing the game. Like, we don't know, because like they don't know anyone playing like that, like plays video games professionally, because like it's just like wasn't a thing like for them. So it's
it's still
such a new thing. Yeah, it's so new.
What was the amount, not to get into your pockets, but what was the amount you won in your first tournament?
So the first tournament that I played in for EA, I actually ended up winning. And so, like, that one was a $35,000 prize to first. So I won that one. That was the Madden 20 challenge. That was like the last live event before COVID. I ended up winning that one, which was pretty cool.
That was the one where you stood up and screamed, right?
Yeah. I don't scream too much. I know a lot of people when I'll go through the YouTube comments and stuff like that, and it's like, why is this guy always screaming and stuff like that? I think I kind of have. I still like to scream a little bit, but I don't know. Younger Noah did like to scream a lot. I like doing it too because I think it gets in a lot of people's heads. If the guy next to you is just like yelling the whole time, you're like, why is this guy yelling? And you're kind of not focused on the game rather than you're focused on me. And I feel like, again, that's another thing I can just have an advantage on you. So it's kind of like a mental thing.
Yeah.
To kind of get the other person out of their game.
Yeah, of course. How do you react to people who say that? Do you stay out of the comments like a smart person, or do you read those comments?
No, I try to limit my social media, and I don't really look at those comments. My buddies will be like, "You gotta see this comment," like this guy said in one of the videos, and so. But I mean, like, I do like reading the comments in the sense that like a lot of people are like super supportive. Like they love video games, but then obviously you're gonna get the bad apples that are just like the worst people ever.
Oh, they're the trolls. They come in. Yeah, I deal with that too. Trust me, it's a completely different realm, but it's the same thing. They're just
it's like, why did you say that about my favorite team? Like, no.
Oh yeah, that's exactly what it is. Like I'm sure Noah, Eagles fan Noah, like in a younger time.
Yeah, I probably sent you a message.
Yeah,
you probably have some messages.
You're probably like, why do you hate Carson Wentz? Back in the day.
Yes.
Yeah, I get that. It's smart to stay out of the comments. It's helpful sometimes to maybe get better in terms of like how you carry yourself, but too much time in the comments is not good for anybody.
Oh yeah, not at all. But
and
it's definitely wholesome when you do get the message that's like, hey man, like love your content, love seeing you. So that is what makes it worth it for sure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because see, this is a situation in which I can't do what I wanted to do. Because it does. That's part of why you do it, right? Is to make an impact on people's lives and stuff. But I have Mackenzie open. I don't know if he can get it there. Nope.
Oh.
Yeah, he couldn't get it there.
Tried clear out. I see ya.
Yeah, I did. I wanted to see how and it worked. He was open.
Yeah, it did.
But I'll tell you what. The difference between playing with Josh Allen versus like in our league, I'm the Browns, so I use Deshaun Watson. It is night and day.
Oh, for
absolutely
sure.
Night and day. That's why like I get online and I'm playing head to head and I'm just like, oh my god, this is so much better. Like he gets the ball out so much quicker.
Yeah, if you're not using Josh Allen or like Aaron Rodgers or like Tom Brady, oh, it's night and day. Like I can't wait until they give Jalen Hurts a passing ability because then I'll be using my Eagles a ton. But it's just so tough to use them without the passing ability just because it takes a little bit to get the ball there.
Oh god. Yeah, it does because the delivery slow. I did an offline franchise with the Eagles before I started the league for this year's game, and it was kind of the same experience where that, and if he gets sacked, man, he fumbles so much in the game, which is funny because like it's just not the most accurate representation of what he's doing in real life. But you know how it is.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan on the quarterback fumbles or like to throw out of sacks and stuff like that because like you'll see it with some quarterbacks where it's like Carson Wentz has like a big problem fumbling like in the pocket and like other things like that. But like you'll see other guys like I don't ever see Jalen Hurts fumble. Like why is he fumbling in the game? So, but I guess like EA gets that all the time. Like why is my speed so low and stuff like that. But I mean they can only
they do get that all the time, all the time. I mean I get it. I'll rank. Like Keenan Allen's a guy I always think of who always gets really upset about this stuff. I had him open. I blew it. Where it's like they see their ranking or like I was doing a lot of next gen stats, top 10s based on very specific things like metrics in next gen stats. And then players would like the fans would send it to the players and they'd be like, how am I not a top 10 receiver? It's like, dude, a top 10 receiver making, unexpected catches. Like that's not just receiver rankings, but that all that info is not in the graphic. So they get all upset. So I definitely get what you're saying there.
My favorite is the rookies, where it's like, what ranking do you, or what's your overall you think you should be? Man, I should be like a 97, 98.
Yeah. They come out there at 69 or something.
Yeah.
They're like, what? It's like, yeah.
Man, they did not watch my college film.
Right. It's like, no, they did. Okay, so how are you getting pressure here? Is that's not even that was DB fire. Okay, never mind. We're gonna take the points.
Take the points, smart.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of I know like the Madden guys, we go for a lot of fourth downs, we rarely use the punters. And then you see it a lot more in like the NFL now where it's like the analytics space, especially with like Brandon Staley and the Chargers and some more coaches like the old school versus new school. Where do you sit on that?
I lean toward the aggressive side, but I think it's all within the realm of reason. Like you have to, you use the hot term is analytics, but I think that that's very incorrectly used by media members who don't understand it. What analytics does is it just gives you more information on situations to make a better informed decision. And they look at it as some crazy math that tells them to go for it when logic says don't go for it. And that's not what it is. What it is, okay, well, in these situations, in these games in the past, we found that teams find success, X amount of times. I lean toward the aggressive side because I think if you can't get 3 yards in certain situations, you don't deserve to be on the football field. You shouldn't be playing in that game. It's that simple. I'm just getting peppered with verts and he's just clearing everything out underneath. So like last week, the Chargers played the Browns and Brandon Staley went for it on 4th and 1 on his own 46 in a 2-point game, and they didn't get it. I didn't disagree with that decision. That decision was a good call. The problem was that the play call itself was poor.
Yeah.
And I also really couldn't blame them for going to Mike Williams. I thought you were still going to throw it there. I thought you were still going to go to the tight end. I was like, come on, I'm actually running with him this time.
That's your user.
Yeah, running with a slow linebacker. Usually I'm user and safeties or box safeties, but I don't have any formation subs going on here. But it's just funny because they give them so much grief, and it's like, it was a smart decision. Mike Williams was torching the Browns in that game. It's just that the play call was poor.
Oh! Nice play by Edmonds right there.
So I played a league playoff game yesterday against the Broncos, computer controlled. And I had a pass just like that got tipped and caught by the Broncos, got him into field goal range, gave him 3 points just before the half. They ended up tying up the game. I'm just sitting there thinking, have you ever heard this term? This is a term me and my buddies use, of getting all Maddened, where you're playing against a computer. You probably never play against a computer anymore, but when you're playing against a computer and you just feel like the game's going to do whatever it can to beat you, no matter what.
No, I definitely felt that like as a kid. Like I still feel that where it's like, man, it's sometimes harder to play against the CPU than like a person online because the CPU never makes a mistake. They know exactly what you're gonna do before you do it.
Right.
But no, I definitely have felt that.
Yeah, it was that instance right there was like, come on, game, you're killing me. Let's see here. Let's see if we can get 3 more points. We're gonna try and chip away and just make it a respectable finish here. Let's see. I'm looking at all the questions I wrote down. I think we dug into a lot of this. What's the feedback you get from some of those guys that you mentioned who were like the Madden legends before your class? Because you're like the new generation.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, why did I throw that? That was dumb.
Oh, tackle battle. Oh, come on, outrun him. Oh.
No, N'Kobe Dean. I will not let a rookie pick 6 me in this.
That
was a poor read. Good play.
Go
ahead.
Some of the guys are super supportive, like of the new generation, and then obviously like some guys are like, back in my day, like Madden was harder and stuff like that. But no, most of the guys are like, it's cool seeing like the evolution of the game, and they like love the new school Madden because like some guys play exactly like how they play because like a lot of guys in the old community, we call them the old heads because just like the old guys in the community.
Yeah, the OGs might be like the more respectable term.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, the OGs of the community, because they play a lot like me. So, like, they like my game style because, like, it was just, like, play super conservative, kind of force your opponent's hand on defense and then play super conservative on offense. And then they'll see the other guys that are, like, throwing 40 times a game, like, kind of the new style of football where you're just slinging the rock the whole time. And, like, it's just a way different thing. Oh, test his user.
Oh, yeah.
A.J. Brown. Oh,
I was a step late on the break away from the back pedal to the sprint and got cooked. Shot seams, buck seams. That play always works, especially against 2. Beautiful throw on your part. Gotta love AJ Brown coming down with it. That doesn't affect you that much though. Like the idea of like some of the OGs like getting irritated by the new. I mean, because that's what happens in sports, whether it's esports or football or basketball, whatever it is. The new generation comes eventually. Your time is not forever.
Yeah, for sure. Now, like I'm super supportive of like even as considering myself like I guess be playing for now. I think this is what my fourth or fifth year like at the competitive level. Like the new guys, like I don't know, I'm super supportive because it's just I love seeing the game grow. I mean, Madden's still growing; it's getting bigger and bigger. The MCS is getting bigger and bigger. So I like seeing the new younger guys because like they kind of like they'll say like oh like I the reason I started playing Madden was because I seen you play in a tournament and stuff like that. So it's just like I think it's super dope. But yeah, some people will be like not like it. So, but it is what it is.
They'll be a little salty or whatever it is. Yeah, the whole back in my day thing. I get that.
Yeah, back in my day.
I see you there. I see you there. I'm not gonna throw that. If I was playing anybody but you, I'd be playing the user the same way. But when I play you, as I've learned in one half, that's not. You just have to guard the deep seams there because I'm just leaving myself wide open to get torched over and over again. All right, let's finish the half here. I'm not even gonna go Hail Mary. I mean, I should if I was smart, but oh no, he broke off the streak. And that's halftime in a game in which I hope to lose by only 60. I guess what are we gonna go for halftime adjustments? Let's see here. So what is what's your long-term goal with all this?
Yeah, I'm just kind of playing it day by day, really. Like until I stop like loving it. Like I love just competing. I love playing Madden, so I'm gonna just keep on doing it and kind of just keep on playing until I stop loving it. But,
what do you say to people who discount the competitive element of video games? You know, like you said, like not even the OGs, the people before that, like the people who don't even understand what esports is and what you can do with it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I don't even know what there is to say. I feel like we've like just said so many like the esports community in general and just like people in general where it's like no, like this is like a real thing. I guess you just can't convince those people otherwise. So I'll always just like show my games and stuff like that. Be like, yeah, like it is competitive. But I don't know. I don't think you can really convince those people. And it is what it is. Like it's just I don't know. I guess it just happens.
What about the next generation after you? What's your advice to them?
Well, I think like the next generation like understands this, understands esports and like how big it's gonna be, and so that's why I'm just like so excited for because like we're still at the beginning, so like I'm so excited for 10, 15 years from now because I mean I don't even know, nobody knows what it's gonna look like. It
Yeah,
just knows it's gonna be huge.
If you had to guess, what would it look like?
I mean, I would say it's going to be bigger than like just like traditional sports because it's so. Oh, nice! I didn't even see him.
That was not me. That was the computer.
Hey, you called the coverage though. Gotta give yourself some credit.
You give Matt Milano some credit for playing like he does in real life.
But yeah, I think it's going to be bigger than traditional sports just because it's so inclusive for everybody because anyone almost anyone can pick up a controller and stuff like that, play the game. And like I said earlier, like, the NBA, the NFL, you got to be a peak athlete. And, I'm 5'10". I'm not going out there and lining up against DK Metcalf. I'm going to get torched. But I'm on the same skill level as everyone else because, like, I have a controller and stuff like that. So it's super dope that, like, it's, like, super inclusive.
You have a controller and you have the desire to get better, right?
Exactly.
That's got to be what's most important is the desire to get better and the commitment to it.
For sure.
And he's going to sit that and, yep, nothing's open. I had another question that was a follow-up to the last one. How you talk about like you're 5'10", so you're not going to go out there and get a D1 scholarship to play, baseball unless you're like an incredible shortstop or something like that. So how does this whole thing with West Virginia come about? Because like, not to blow you up too much here, and kind of gas you up here, but like you're the face of this program.
Yeah, it kind of just happened. So the director here, his name is Josh. And so I was just playing in a tournament and like after the tournament, he hit me up on social media and he was like, hey, like I'm moving into like I just got this position at West Virginia, and like I'm like going to be the head of the director of esports, and like we want to build the program around you. Like, are you interested? And I was like, at first I was kind of hesitant. Like, I was just kind of doing my own thing. Like everything was going good for me. It's like I don't even know where West Virginia's at. Like I've never been to West Virginia. I don't know where Morgantown's at. I've never been there.
Yeah.
But I was like, all right, like I'll go visit it and see what it's about. And like the school was just super dope. And then kind of just like seeing the vision for what he had in store. Excuse me, what he had in store and like what our plans were. It's just like, man, this is awesome. Like I'm just so excited. And now being here for I guess like a year and a half so far, like it's been awesome. It's been kind of surreal. Never imagined. I always imagined like I'd be getting a scholarship for football, basketball, baseball, or something like that as a kid, and never for video games. But it's crazy.
Okay, so like I try to do a comparison because I'm curious about this, and I'm sure so many other people are. You know, I asked you what's a day in the life of Noah Johnson like at WVU, but more importantly, I think because people want to wrap their head around what is an esports collegiate athlete like? What are they doing? How are they supporting them? So what is, you know, if you were a football player, you'd have practice, you'd have study tables, you'd have weightlifting, you know, all that stuff. What do you have that kind of equals that?
Yeah, so like on the academic front, it's the same thing. You know, we got tutors, got like go to classes and all that type of stuff. Got all the study hours and all that. So like the academic side, it's the same thing. And then same thing for practice as well. It's just like we actually practice a little bit more just because like you can play video games for like like a lot longer than like you can go out and like hit each other during practice. Like you don't want to get hurt or anything like that. And that doesn't really affect esports. So we actually practice a little bit longer. For other games, like we have Call of Duty, Valorant, Rocket League, like team games. You obviously have your set schedule where you practice with like your teammates and stuff like that. But for me, I kind of just like set my own schedule because like Madden's a solo player game. And so I'll just set my own schedule with kind of certain things I want to get better at today or stuff like that and kind of go from there. But it's really traditional. Have the same type of schedule that like a traditional like football player or anything like that would have.
So are you only competing in Madden or are you competing in other games too?
Yeah, I only compete in Madden.
Okay. And then how many people are in this program?
So we have, I would say probably like 16 or 17. We have a team for Rocket League. We have a team for Valorant. We have a team for Call of Duty. And that's it. And so what is that? That's like, yeah, like around like 14, 15 people.
Okay, so it's not just you.
Yeah, no, it's not just me. Started out the program kind of like I was like kind of like you said, like I guess like the face or stuff like that at the beginning, and then kind of grew from there.
What's their goal of growth? Like how many people do they want in this program?
I don't know. I mean, I think just want to be able to compete in like every like collegiate tournament like game possible. And so like there's other games like League of Legends and stuff like that. And so like kind of just have a team for all those and be the best at all those, like winning all the tournaments. So kind of like an athletic department, like having the goals of like winning the football national championship, basketball national championship, and stuff like that. Like same goals as winning every collegiate game.
What was it like when they honored you on the field at the West Virginia football game and you had your trophy? And also, what is that trophy from?
Yeah, so that trophy's from the national championship for Madden, and so I won that my freshman year last year, and so like I got honored at the football game, which was like super dope because yeah, it's just like super dope to just be like on the field. They were actually like honoring like Bob Huggins and like some other West Virginia legends like Tavon Austin and stuff like that. Who is
you.
Who is the GOAT of college football, by the way? The legend. That highlight tape. There's nobody has a better highlight tape than Tavon Austin. I'm telling you that right now.
Reggie Bush was pretty good in his prime, but I'll give you that.
Tavon Austin's the GOAT, the man, the legend. Him and Gino. But yeah, like they're honoring those guys, and then they're just like me. So it's like I don't know if I belong with you guys, but like it's super dope to like just be part of that. Try to fit it in there. Oh, there!
Wow, that was a phenomenal throw. Oh my God!
Looking like real life right there, Jalen.
Hole shot, baby. Look at that safety. He's at the right depth and width, but can't get that back pylon. Was that freeform or just straight up?
That was just straight up, and I mean that's why Jalen Hurts is going to win the MVP. Simple as that.
Spoken like a true Eagles fan. He's got a good shot. He's definitely got a good shot. That's awesome. I think I asked you this before again, but just to clarify, so are you spending all of your gaming time in Madden?
Yeah, so like during the season right now, like it's like peak MCS and peak collegiate time, and so like I spend like all my time playing Madden. I don't like to play other games. It kind of just like it would just like throw me off. So I like to just play Madden. And then when the MCS is over, Madden season's over, I will start playing like some 2K or Call of Duty, Fortnite, something like that with my buddies. Just I like to like take a big break off of Madden just because it allows me to just kind of clear my head and like restart and prepare for the next season.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you need to do that. It's good for your mental health and enjoying gaming still, especially when it probably feels like a job sometimes. How many hours a day would you say that you spend playing Madden?
It varies for sure because like right before a tournament, I'll be putting in like 10, 12 hours. Like I'll just wake up, like do my classes, and then like I'm just playing for the rest of the day.
Oh, that's the wrong throw.
But like, and then so like 10 to 12 hours, like right before a tournament. But like other than that, like if it's not like a big tournament coming up and it's kind of just like playing, it like varies from like 2 to 4 hours a day or like 5, 6. It kind of just like depends on the day. It's like whatever. I don't like have like a strict like, all right, like I have to play this many hours. I just kind of go with the flow. See if I'm playing well and like I'm doing well, I feel like I'm getting a lot better. Like I'll keep on playing, but I feel like, all right, like today's just not my day. Like, all right, I'm going to just like close up shop early and just do something else to clear my head.
How often do you lose?
How often do I lose?
Be honest with me here.
Be honest, like, if I'm playing like online head to head, not a lot. But like if I'm like getting some reps in against my buddies, I definitely lose a little bit. Probably have like I don't know what my exact win percentage would be, but I definitely do lose. I definitely get very angry when I lose. I don't like losing, even if it's like just like online head to head.
Even if it was just this.
Yeah, no, well that's. I came in here. I prepared for you. You think I wasn't watching? You think I wasn't watching the streams? Come on.
I honestly would be flattered if you were watching the streams.
Come on. You think I didn't prepare? You're crazy.
I got some tells. I know I got some tells.
But no, I hate losing.
Oh no! I threw to the one you followed. You're supposed to choose one. I throw to the other one. TJ. No, I'm gonna.
Come on, TJ, get him. Let's go.
Gone. House call. I deserve that. I saw you fall and I still threw it to him. Predetermined throws. Well, the preparation paid off. I can tell you that.
I see. I knew you were gonna throw that one. I knew it.
From the 3 minutes that you had to spend studying me to figure me out. Yeah, I asked about how often do you lose because like I was looking at like Henry's account and what he tweeted about like the ladders and everything, and I saw that he wasn't, I think he was 24-3 to get the top seed. How long do those last? I mean, when that starts, aren't you like, how do you balance that with like school? Like I gotta go win a bunch of games to qualify for this tournament.
The ladders are brutal. Let me tell you, they are. So this Thanksgiving tournament, it was 4 days. So it was Friday to Monday, and it was like 6 hours a day. And it's not really about how good you are. It's like, how can you stay mentally focused for 6 straight hours? Like just playing against like really good, like the top players in the world, just back to back to back with like no break. And it's tough. It's a mental grind, but it definitely gets you better if you can outlast it, I would say.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, that's how you got to get into the tournament anyway. There's never any automatic bids either. Like, what if you just decided one day, like, I'm done, and you just walked away? Would they be like, hey, come back? Or they just be like, all right, thanks?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of don't want to see what happens. I guess.
You wouldn't want to even consider that, right?
Yeah, I guess that is nice about Madden. How it's just like you don't get any special treatment or anything like that. Like everyone's the same, whether you're ranked number 1 in the world or you're just Joe Schmo down the street. And so I kind of like that because we all started out as Joe Schmo down the street, and you kind of earn your way.
Yeah, you definitely do. That is 100% a fact. How interested in college football are you? I know you talked about Tavon Austin, his incredible highlight reel, but how interested in college football are you?
I was a big Maryland fan, but I still root for Maryland, and then obviously I'm a West Virginia fan now. But yeah, I love college football. I actually like college football more than the NFL, just because like this past weekend with the Tennessee Alabama, like you're not seeing that in the NFL, so just seeing that is, oh my god, that was the best.
Yeah, you're really not. Not with the way that game went back and forth. Get down the seam, Dawson! For the love of God, flatten out. Well, I can't punt. I'm down 32. And I'm scouted, so here goes nothing. So how do you keep up with those friendships that you once maintained by playing video games now that you're too good to play against your friends? The idea of that, by the way, is insane. Sorry, guys. He can't play with you anymore. I'm too good.
No, like, I mean, like, I wouldn't be like that. Like, I love playing with my friends, but they were like, dude, like, it's not even fun. Like, can we just, like, that's why I'll play those other games, because, like, I'm not as good at those games. So, like, we're all on the same skill level.
Right, of course.
And so, like, that's why it's just, like, kind of playing with games like that. But that's not the other thing that kind of stunk. Just, like, in video games in general, like, you know, like, once people kind of graduate from high school, go to college, like, some people will just kind of stop playing the game and stuff like that. So,
yeah,
and it's just like the evolution of life, I guess. But yeah, I still play with my buddies from like high school and even like middle school and stuff like that. We'll still try to play as much as we can, but you know, everyone's schedule is just so hectic and all that type of stuff.
Going out. Yep.
Oh.
Yeah, that happens. That's the changing tides of life, I think.
Yeah, for sure.
People just, I mean, I had buddies growing up that were incredible at Call of Duty who haven't touched the game in 7 years, can get on and still be pretty good, but like it's just not, but you know, and it's a bummer because y'all move away, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's really the only time where it's like, oh, like now that I live in West Virginia, like I can't just go over to your house like 3.5 hours away in Maryland. So it's like that's just kind of something that you can bond with your friends about, which is super dope.
How often do you
I love the game.
Yeah, of course. How often do you get to go home?
I was just back home about a couple weeks ago. So I probably go home I definitely go home for like Thanksgiving, Christmas, like winter break and summer break, of course. But other than that, I'm usually here. So probably like 3-4 times a year, maybe.
Okay. So you're spending most of your time at school. You got your full course load. You got your Madden responsibilities. Do you think that they're ever gonna do the MCS in person again?
Yeah, I hope they do. I think they will at some point because there's nothing like playing in person. That's like that's just the best. Like it's hard to get that energy. Like I was playing in the finals against Henry in this last tournament. It's like I don't know. It just kind of feels like a regular game, but like when you got the crowd there, you got like the belt just sitting there. You got the commentators, you got the lights, you got all that type of stuff. There's just nothing like it, and so I hope everything goes back to in person at some point.
What's it like? Yeah, like you just said, there's nothing like it. Actually, you know what? I'll flip this around. What's it like sitting in what I assume is a classroom? It always looks like a classroom in West Virginia with that camera on you. First off, what do they send you? Just like some sort of webcam or something that they hook up? Like, because I love the shots of people like who get beat, and as they get beat, they put that little lens cap on.
Put the lens cap on. Yeah. So EA will send out like $35,000 or something worth of equipment. So it's like a big streaming laptop, like a huge box, and then like the mics, the camera, the lights, all that type of stuff. So like they'll hook us up with like an engineer before the games, like a couple of days beforehand, and we'll like set it all up. And like I've done it like 10, 12 times or whatever. It's like I know how to do it now, but like that first time it took me forever because they're like, no, like you gotta do, like they're obviously like super nice and all that, but they're like, man, this dude, like how does he not know how to plug in this stuff? But
right, of course.
And of course they think like, oh, like he plays video games, he's gotta like he should know technology, but I am the worst with technology. Like you ask anybody, he's like, man, I don't even know how to turn on my computer. Like, how is this guy so good at video games when he's just like the worst with technology? I don't know.
Because you're like, I just plug in my console, I know what to do.
Yeah, like I know I understand football. I don't understand how to do all this, but
right. By the way, was that did you hot the slant there underneath?
Yeah.
Under that streak, yeah, because that's how I was gonna open something up there.
Ooh.
It's like, come on, there's no way I'm gonna get beat on this play. Come on. So they send you all this stuff, you set it up. They probably give you a little bit of a guide, but they're also like, yeah, how do you not know how to do this? You get that all set up, you're ready to go. Did they send you like a backlight? Because I noticed there was like orange backlights.
Yeah, they send you a ton of lights. Like they send you 4 big boxes, and so like one of them's got like the PC that like they stream it off of and stuff like that, and then the other one's got like all your equipment, and then the other one's got like the lights, and then the other one's got like the stands for the lights and stuff like that, and so they send you a ton of stuff.
Oh man, so you're getting the whole kit there.
Yeah,
really increase the production value, because I know in years past it wasn't as good. I know they probably invested in making that better. Okay, so flip side of that is, what's it like stepping into the in-person setting, and where was that?
Yeah, so they have a studio in Redwood, California. I'm pretty sure like they had it just built like for 2020, because like they were expecting like, okay, like we're gonna be doing this like every like 3 months or whatever. Like let's build this cool studio, and like the studio was dope. And then of course like we've only been able to use it once, which stinks. But yeah, it's out in California.
So it's just sitting there collecting dust now.
Yeah, when it's like, that stinks.
Yeah. Then they got to bring that back eventually.
Yeah, no, I hope so, because there's just nothing like it. Like you're sitting next to, like you're literally 5 feet away, and I'm like, I like to do my capping and all that type of stuff, yelling at the person just to get in their head, and so you can't do that.
Oh yeah, I saw.
Which stinks.
I saw.
Younger Noah would say some things that an older Noah, more grizzled vet, I guess, wouldn't be saying. But
at what point did "Go Get 7" become part of your like sayings? Because I looked at your Twitch and I was like, oh, look, his emojis. There's a "Go Get 7" emoji.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just like I don't know, like a mental, just like I don't know. It just like kind of helped me like I guess focus up, because I'm not gonna lie to you, like I was super nervous. Like, oh, we're playing for this so much money and stuff like that. Like, I'm super nervous, so it's just like, all right, like this, like saying that kind of just like, I mean, like refocus on the game. Like,
yeah, calm me down a little bit, like
yeah,
you're talking to yourself.
Block out all the noise, and then I guess it kind of just throws off other people. It's like, man, what is this dude talking to himself about?
If you were actually gonna bring the blitz that you were showing, I would have been so sad. Wow, can't even throw that one away. How much of the pre-snap situation is effective, like showing all that stuff and then backing out of it, like in an MCS game? Or these guys know like he's bluffing, or he may not be bringing it? Like, is it mind games as much as anything?
Oh, it's a huge cat and mouse, and so like I love seeing that in the NFL. But like, yeah, so back to like the MCS, I'll always try to put like 8 people in the box, because like you have to set up like, all right, like I think he's gonna be blitzing, so I have to set up a blocking protection. And so yeah, I always try to make everything look similar. I always try to make it look like I have like some threat of a blitz. And so I love when teams in the NFL, like I know like the Dolphins with the mid blitz and kind of like stacking the box. I love that they do that.
Get like a 6-man front and then blitz the edges. Yeah,
exactly. Like teams kind of started figuring it out, like how to beat that. All right, like let's hit a quick screen on the outside, wide receiver screen, a quick something like that. But I just love seeing that cat and mouse game.
How much of Madden, or how much of football translates to Madden, and how much of how much have you learned about the game from playing Madden? How much of it kind of crosses over between what people are seeing on Sundays and what they can see in a Madden game?
I would say it's probably like 50-50, because like in Madden, for example, like you're not really throwing like, I guess like on offense, it's not really similar as it is to the NFL. Oh, nice play right there.
He's not going to get it.
Oh,
he did.
Oh, Knox, make a play.
Oh, get up there, big man.
But yeah, you rarely see that in Madden, where in like the NFL, guys will like, okay, like we have a big wide receiver, like we're gonna throw him the ball, when it's like you wouldn't throw that in Madden because he's covered. But like in the NFL, like you're obviously gonna let your best players make plays. And it's like on offense, it's not too similar, but on like defense, you'll see a ton of the same things on defense that you do in Madden.
Well, that's the thing, because like a lot of what you're doing, like when you showed that you had like 8 guys in the box, I'm throwing a pass and they all get back in coverage. Like you're not going to see that often in the NFL, right? Like just limitations.
Exactly. Yeah. Like guys like in Madden, like you can see the whole field. Like you have a different POV than like in the NFL. Like a guy can't just like, I don't know, have eyes in the back of his head. Like, all right, like I'm going to be running back, but also be able to guard the running back and stuff like that. So there's definitely some limitations that like people just can't do in real life.
Oh, like try to score this? Ah! Josh Allen could definitely do that.
Yeah, he'll just jump over him, like
exactly.
he did
Just
against
go flying around like a like a runaway train.
But one of my favorite things, which I don't know if the Bucks picked it up for Madden, they might have, but they started dropping back Vita Vea into coverage, and so like you've never seen that before, like in the
But
NFL.
you know that's in Madden.
And people have been doing that in Madden for years. Like you drop back the DT for like a quick little pass, and so
yeah, and you pick it off. Yeah,
it's funny seeing that in the NFL, and it's like, maybe Todd Bowles has been playing some Madden. I don't know.
So like the producers of this game, like Aaron McCarty and Clint Oldenburg, I did a story with them before the game released because, and I'm gonna ask you about this too because it's cool to hate on Madden online and everything else, but I thought that this was the first game Madden has released in a long, EA has released in a long time that played kind of true to football, like things that we just discussed that you see on an NFL field actually kind of came through. Like it's not just interception or incompletion anymore on passes. There's a variety of things that can happen. So I'm talking to them and I was just kind of, talking about basic football concepts from my knowledge of football, like the pass rush and like how it's so good in Madden this year. Well, why is it so good? Because it needs to be better because guys shouldn't have all day to throw back there. They just shouldn't. He's wide open over the middle. Oh, he went over there. We've had some good button mashing battles here, my friend. But so I have to think that some of that comes from like what you just described. That does kind of come from football, but I feel like we do. Maybe we're just picking up more on it now as people who play Madden know that it's in the playbook that you see in the NFL. Because I feel like, there's like the times where the amoeba defense existed, for example, where like you had literally one down lineman and everybody else is or amoeba, nobody was down. Everyone's standing up all the way across the field. Then you saw that included in Madden, whereas like the flip side can also happen sometimes. I just feel like most of what they put in the game is going to be, I'm so cooked here, is going to be seen on a football field first, but maybe not always.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the biggest thing that stinks as like playing the game competitively as opposed to casually is like, I think the biggest thing is like dropped interceptions, right? Because you watch an NFL game, like guys drop all interceptions all the time. It's hard to catch, like people drop passes, and like it stinks in Madden because like you'd hate to like throw a wide open pass and like the computer drops a pass, but so it's hard to find like that balance because like if it's so hard to like force your opponent to make a mistake when they finally make a mistake and like you drop an interception, it's the worst thing ever because it's like I called the perfect defense right here. I made the adjustment and my guy dropped. Like I have no control over the guy dropping the pass, but it's hard to find that balance for like the game developers where it's like making the game realistic as possible, but of course like having the elements of like it being a video game, like it's not real life.
Yeah, that's true because there is kind of the realm of like, this is realistic, but it's also a video game, and you kind of have to balance between the two. I feel like they've done a pretty good job with that this year. What do you think about the field sense, like how it's changed the game?
I'm not like a huge fan of like the new motion, just because like I love like running around, like
oh yeah,
I'm the younger generation. I like being like be able to quick go from sideline to sideline like in the same play. And you're never seeing that no linebacker can guard one guy from one sideline to the other sideline. So like I was a fan of that and like the old motion of the game, but like it being more realistic where it's like you can only guard like 1 to 2 routes. You can't guard the whole field with your user. Definitely makes sense and definitely is probably better for the game, but I'm definitely a fan of like the old school being able to cover 5 different routes and sack the quarterback.
And jump up 10 or 15 feet in the air to pick one off. I know people used to get upset about that. Yeah. We had a guy in our league with Ryan Shazier before he broke his neck, who would just rove the middle of the field and had. Oh, I knew that was coming. Big play, Slay. Big play, Slay. That diving interception. That's that X factor ability, or that superstar ability coming through right there. But. Yeah, we had a guy who lit it up with Shazier just picking everything off over the middle, and then he took that out of the game. And it felt like, it does bring some balance, though, to it, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure.
I think that puts me in the old head category because I'm, like, more of a traditionalist, where I'm like, I want this to play like real football.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, like, it's hard to find that balance because, like the balance between, like, someone that wants, like, that more realistic sense and, like, someone that's, like, strictly competitive. Like, no, like, I want it only, like, every time someone makes a mistake, I want it to like benefit the other person, like for who caused the mistake. But you see it in the NFL all the time. Like people sometimes don't pay for their mistakes, and that's football. Like I guess people would like the term in video games is RNG. Like that's just like football has RNG. Like things happen all the time. That
clarify that for me. Is it?
Yeah, RNG, random number generator. Yeah, it's like a video game term, I guess, where it's just like it's random, the randomness of the game.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Yeah, and
Although,
just like football has some randomness to it. Like not everything happens that should.
so I know you're going no huddle here, but I want an explanation of that play you just ran when you have a moment, because I'm just curious about the concept. Oh man, I'm not using anybody. This is bad. I was a defensive lineman there.
Yeah, so those like two plays right there, like I love like running running those back to back, like a quick little bench concept, because you can hit the quick out route to the outside, and I like to seam my running back right at the seam, so it forces the user to kind of, because most people will guard the seam, like the middle of the field with their user, so it forces the user to stay in the middle of the field, and then I have like a high-low read on the outside, that like if you're putting any type of like cover two or anything like that, the forces the outside cornerback to make the decision to guard the underneath route or the deeper route, and you just pick the other one. So I like to do that on the outsides, on the outside of the field, and then make the user stay in the middle of the field to guard the seam. And then the second play, like I just ran right there, I like to do 4 seams up the middle, because if your user's trying to like bait you with staying up the middle and then going to the outside to guard one of those routes, I'll hit them with up the seams right there.
Okay. So you're forcing them to choose in both situations, but they're just totally different situations.
Yeah, exactly. And trying to make them all look similar, so the user, like the person you're playing against, has no idea. Like you're just throwing them off all the time.
See, this is the stuff that people don't understand. Like when they look at Madden and they like look at competitive Madden, how high level it is to actually like. I froze again. To get people into these situations, the strategy that's involved is so much more complicated than I think people realize. Now, like sometimes, you could go on YouTube and find like your quote unquote cheese plays or whatever, right? But
Yeah.
it's not quite the same thing as that. It's more about attacking a defense, which is what football is when it comes down to it.
Yeah, for sure. I think like the biggest gripe that people have against Madden is like, oh, they're running the same plays and stuff like that. When it's reality, it's not the same play. It's the same shell, but you're making so many different like adjustments based on what you think is going to happen on whether you're on offense or defense, and kind of adjusting like that. So like, yeah, I'm in dollar, but like I'm running man to man, like sending 6 people, blitzing 6 people, like all out blitz, or no, like I'm in a cover 2 shell, or I'm in cover 3 or stuff like that. So everyone just kind of sees like, oh, he's just in dollar running the same thing. But like we're making a lot of different adjustments, and it's the same thing. Like, oh, everyone just runs gun bunch every play, when it's not like you're running gun bunch, but you're running so many different plays.
Yeah, I mean, I'm out in gun bunch right now. So yeah, it is a popular formation. You're right, but I understand what you're saying. Yeah, so it's just like, can we get some extra yards here? Do I get a pity field goal? Can I get one?
Field goal? No, you got to go for it all.
Yes, of course. There we go. See, I was actually looking for the field goal in the playbook, but now that you said that, I can't go for Hail Marys, man. They're not productive enough. It's just
gotta give Diggs a chance.
It's RNG, like you said. You just toss it up there and everybody's. See, like here you're showing press, but it's also looks like it's baseline. Like this could be anything.
Yeah, I like to make everything look the same.
Oh, all right, we'll give Diggs a chance.
No, get back there! No!
Oh, he did it! Oh my God, he actually did it! That's clippable.
There you go. That's Diggs, a Maryland legend right there.
Yes.
Maryland
legend. So what do you claim more, Maryland or West Virginia?
Oh, it's tough. I can't pick a side. Can't force me to pick a side. It's nice that they're in opposite like different conferences. So like they actually played last year. Like my freshman year, they played first game of the season, and who won? I think Maryland did actually end up winning. So. I couldn't like pick a side or anything like that. I was at the game, but I couldn't pick a side.
That's a diplomatic answer from you. Good job.
Yeah.
You're ready. You're ready. You're ready to hold elected office someday. Oh, well, that was fun. I mean, I got beat by 38, but it was fun. I had a good time. There. All right, let's get out of this game real quick here, and you and I can wrap up so I can let you go. What else you got on the docket today?
So I actually have a couple matches for the collegiate tournament. Day 2, it's like a 4-day tournament. So I'm in day 2 right now for the national championship, trying to repeat, bring another natty back to Morgantown. So that's kind of what I got tonight. and the rest of the week.
Okay, cool. That's awesome. What kind of prep work goes into that?
Yeah, so just like I said earlier, I like to watch since every game is like streamed on Twitch. I like to watch like my opponent's previous games, as well as like watch my own, like see, all right, like I messed up here, like this what I can do better right here. But then I like to watch my opponents, kind of see what they're doing, see what their favorite plays are and such like that, and then kind of go into practice mode, go and practice with my buddies and figure out how to stop it and set up a game plan for it.
Who are those buddies now? Are they the same buddies that you grew up with, or are these guys that you know from MCS?
Yeah, it's guys that I know from MCS. So like Wesley, K-Mac, Throne, guys like that are kind of part of my crew. Which some of them are just like YouTube guys, but then other guys like competitive. And so I was like, the reason I picked those guys is just like they're cool people like outside of the game. I didn't just want guys that like, are just like strictly Madden. Like those are guys that I'm just like friends with as well.
Is it true that Wesley and Henry live in the same apartment building?
Yeah, they actually did live in the same apartment building, which is just like Austin is like the new hotspot, not just for Madden, but I guess just for like every young person in the United States is like, I'm going to Austin, Texas. So everyone's in Austin, Texas, and they moved into the same apartment building, which is a funny coincidence.
Was that a coincidence or was that planned?
I don't know. I probably was planned, but
okay. Let me ask you a little bit about, I guess, Henry before I let you go then too, just because, I'm doing a profile on him. I'm doing a profile on you as well. We've talked about how like, you tend to deal with like some of the awkwardness of like playing at the highest level, for 50 grand, for example, and a belt and everything else, but also still kind of maintaining that friendship. What is it that makes him good? And what is it? Cause like the game you guys had was incredible in this most recent tournament. I was bummed to see you catch that pass over the middle and just know that you didn't have any timeouts left. I was like, stop.
You gotta bring it up, Nick. You gotta bring it up.
Yeah, of course.
Right
of course. Yes, of course. So, what about him makes him so effective? I mean, you're obviously right there with him, but what makes him so effective?
Yeah, he's just right now he's number one in the world for a reason. He's won, I think, 3 straight tournaments. He's just his preparation for games is unmatched. And then, just his ability to adjust in the middle of the game, always make plays. He's just definitely one of the best players in the world. And, he definitely deserves it. He's a really good player. It's always fun playing against him because I just have that competitive drive where it's just like, I want to play against, like, I don't want to play against someone that's not as good.
Somebody you beat by 38 points. Yeah. You want to play against the best. Exactly.
Yeah.
But
I just love challenging myself and playing against him. Obviously, it didn't end the way that I wanted it to end.
I can tell it's still eating at you.
Yeah, it's definitely not the worst. Just because like as long as it's not the last tournament of the year, like Madden Bowls are Super Bowl in Madden, and so it's like that's the one that I'm super locked in on because if you win Madden Bowl, it shows you're the best player that year. Like winning this tournament's cool. Like you were the best player at this point of the year, but like winning the Madden Bowl shows that like you're the best player for Madden 23. And so like that's the tournament that I'm super prepared for, super locked in. I'm just like excited and trying to win one of those. I've never won Madden Bowl before, so that's like the tournament.
This year, you're just going to turn your phone off. Nobody talk to me for a week. I got to prepare and I got to make it through all these games.
Yeah.
All right, let me give you this scenario. So they start doing Madden Bowl back in person, and you walk in. It's the final. And it's you versus Henry. What's going through your mind as you approach the stage, get ready to sit down and play the game?
I'm just excited. Probably nothing's going through my mind. I'm just like, I'm cheesing. I'm in the Madden Bowl. Like I'm excited. I'm in the finals. That game, the Madden Bowl finals is an $100,000 game of Madden. Like, I don't know. You can't really complain. I'm going to just have my game plan. I'm going to try to win that tournament and be the best Madden player in the world.
What about the ebooks that you guys do? What's the reception on that? Like, what's the process? How do you fit that into your schedule? Just putting all that together.
Yeah, no, like making ebooks is so like awesome because like people like I try to make my ebooks like some people make ebooks and it's just like they don't put too much time into it and like don't like they're not looking out for like the people that they're making the ebooks for. But like I always try to make the ebooks like give everything that I'm running and then kind of like I want to make people better because like that makes the game better and like just grows our player base. And so like I'm always trying to get people better. So I love making the ebooks because it just you get like such good feedback where it's like, hey man, like I was struggling, like only winning like 12 games in weekend league and stuff like that. I couldn't beat my buddies in online head to head. But now, like, I use your ebook and now I'm like crushing them. It's like, oh, it's just the best messages ever, because it's just like you're basically just like a coach, and like being a coach for someone is just awesome. And,
Do you
like,
ever worry
seeing them
about
grow.
Yeah. Do you ever worry about giving away your secrets?
No, like I when I first started making ebooks, it's like, why would I ever do this? Because like now everyone knows like what my plays are going to be. But it's like you can, like, anyone who wants to find it can find it, because everything's online with Twitch and YouTube and stuff like that. So it's like I just like owned it, right? Like, all right, I'm running these plays. Like, I just know like you're not going to be able to stop it at the end of the day. Like, I'm going to be able to make the adjustment in the middle of the game to kind of like throw you off.
How big are you into the Twitch side of things?
Like you said, my schedule is a little hectic, which is trying to maintain everything. But I do love streaming. It's pretty awesome because you just like interacting with the chat and stuff like that. Interacting with people that also love Madden is super dope. And so like I like Twitch. YouTube is a lot easier. I just started trying to do YouTube this year. It's a lot easier just because you can kind of do it at your own pace. Like Twitch, of course, everything's live, but YouTube, obviously, you just record it and stuff like that. But like making content and like kind of like engaging with your fans is super dope, and like the other people in the community.
Once you get done with school, I feel like that could be like your thing, is like you still play Madden competitively and you become this well-known content creator, because the success on the field will drive people who follow the MCS to want to follow you and want to, get better, right?
Yeah, for sure.
What about the flip side of that? What about the person who doesn't know anything about MCS? The person who knows Madden is a video game and nothing more. How do you tell your story to them, in 30 seconds or whatever? What would your sales pitch be to them about MCS and just about your, career in general?
I don't know. I think like the sales pitch for like competitive Madden is just like, imagine the 17 seconds or how much time was it? I don't want to buffer, but like the Chiefs versus
13
the Bills, like 13 seconds. Just imagine that, like the high pace, competitive, like you're on the edge of your seat, and just imagine that two guys playing a video game, because it's such high pace. Well, 99% of the people, like, I like running the ball. I'm the slow pace type of guy, but the other guys playing is high pace. You're throwing the ball, you're throwing bombs here and there, 75, 80-yard touchdown passes and stuff like that, making crazy plays. And just imagine that, and like at the highest level, like that's what got me into it, because I'm watching Skimbo was probably one of the first guys that I watched, and he's known for running the gun bunch, like the best gun bunch player ever. And he would just have a bomb here and there, high ball to Randy Moss, making crazy plays. And you like see that in the NFL, and everyone loves watching. Like, my favorite player ever is Calvin Johnson, because like watching him dunk on people was the coolest thing ever. Like, and so watching that, like in the NFL, everyone loves watching that. And so like we have that in video game format as well in the MCS. And so I definitely would give it a watch.
Yeah, I would agree. I would definitely agree. I had a follow up, and I totally forgot it because I just started thinking about Randy Moss. Thinking about all the plays that he made back in his day. Man, you would have loved, like, if you were a little bit older, you would have really loved that 1 year of glory with T.O. and the Eagles, because it was kind of like that. It was like that.
That's what my neighbors always talk about. They're like, man, back in the day with T.O. But I think we got to listen. AJ Brown, a dog. He a dog.
I mean, he got me today. Devontae Smith, also a dog. They got quite the core going forward. Yeah, where should people follow you?
Yeah, at No Up Next on everything. YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, everything like that. All the social medias at No Up Next for some laughs and some high level gameplay of Madden. So,
and to hear him shout, "Go get 7."
And go get 7. Back in the day, watch the old clips. You can hear younger Noah say that. Older Noah is more composed.
yeah, right. we all become a little more composed as we get older. Thanks again, man. I appreciate doing this, taking the time to talk, and to give me a nice whooping in Madden. That's what I came for. I was expecting that, and you definitely showed the master. You are the master. You showed how the master does his job. So thanks, man. I appreciate it.
For sure.